Hey y'all, it's Angela here again at the chicken coop. I've been MIA for a while because I'm telling you, we had our garden tour of homes, and after that I had to recuperate. I'm telling you, that just about wore me and Lad out. We worked so hard to get our yard all pretty, and we had great weather. We had a lot of rain beforehand of the garden tour, so my garden was really lush and green and everything was vibrant. And then the day of the garden tour, it was calling for 90% chance of rain, and we actually did not have any rain till late that evening, which was fine. We got through the garden tour with no rain, so that was awesome that God answered our prayers, because we had really been praying about that. But then the heat came, and I am so glad we had the garden tour when we had it, because my garden really suffered after having all that rain and that nice cool weather to just hot and no rain. It really was hard on it. It really couldn't just take that swift transition of weather. But I'll show y'all a video, but let me get to picking these peas. All right, we had a little bit of rain this morning, and we're going to try to get some of these peas picked before the rain comes back. I've got a good stand of peas right here, and I've got some that are ready to pick, so we're going to work on that this morning before it gets too hot. And I'll try to do a little follow-up of the garden, but I want to get on this real quick. Be back in a minute. If y'all don't know, I'm a lazy gardener, and I love my chair and I love my raised beds, so that I can just sit here and actually work on my raised beds by sitting. So that's how I garden. I'm a sitting gardener. There's a wolf spider, but it ain't gonna hurt. So I got almost a 5-gallon bucket of peas, and y'all can see that was probably the easiest pea picking anybody would ever do. If you've ever picked peas in a hot field and had to bend over, it's not a fun job, but it's well worth it because we love purple hull peas. Of course, we're from the South, so of course we love purple hull peas. So I'm going to go on over here and pick some peppers now. I want y'all to see my peppers. All right, so now I'm going to show y'all my pepper plants. Kind of ignore my garden, it needs mowing. I don't do the mowing, my son and my husband do. But you know, it's been raining, my husband's been doing a lot of things on the house, so that's kind of gone to the wayside for a little bit. They mow, but you know, with the weather, that just jumps. All right, so this, I have some jalapeno peppers, some, not jalapeno peppers, some red chili peppers. They're coming on, got lots of blooms, lots of little baby peppers. Those are the first 4 plants right here. Then I have banana peppers. I've already done some pickled banana peppers. I probably have enough to pick here today, so I'm probably gonna pick, and I'll show y'all how I'm making those banana peppers. So I got those. Then I've got some red Marconi peppers, and they are coming along. I've got some big, they're green in there yet. They're not reds, but they're coming along. And then I've got some bell peppers. And these are some nice sized bell peppers. One year I grew bell peppers that were just absolutely gigantic, but I haven't ever done that since then. I had a specific variety. It was Goliath, and I haven't been able to find that since then, so I'm kind of always not happy with my bell peppers because they're not as big as they normally are. And then I planted these like long beans. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with those stupid things. you know, and I really, after they come on, and I'm going, what am I supposed to do with these? I don't even know how to cook them. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know how to process them. I don't know if I'm supposed to pick them when they're long. I don't know if pick them when they're dry. I don't know if pick them. I don't know. So I but I only have one pot of that, but I'm thinking that was just a waste of my garden real estate. So I won't do that again. I'm going to stick with the plants that I know. So let me get to picking these peppers. All right, here's some more purple hull peas. I planted them later, probably about 2 or 3 weeks later, but they're coming on. Some more purple hull peas. So they're just starting to look like they're about to blossom. All right, so here is all the banana peppers I picked. And I've got a few Roma tomatoes here coming on. Just a few. Get these picked. Oh, there's one down in that bucket. I'm gonna have to go around there and dig it out. So these are my Roma tomatoes and my marigolds. Look at those marigolds. Are those not pretty? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right, here's my collapsing cucumber trellis. It's the weight of the cucumbers are pulling it over. I got to get out here and pick these. I've already made some pickles. But I've got a bunch in here to pick. Some of them have gotten big and I always just throw those to the chickens. All right, I'm not a great pickle maker. When I can my pickles, they always turn mushy, even when I use pickle crisp. So this year, I'm just gonna do refrigerator pickles and see if that is any better, because it's not working doing canning pickles. They just turn to mush, and it's too much work and trouble to do it if it ain't gonna be successful. At least that's my thoughts on it. So the only thing I did do is I saved my pickle juice from those pickles, because my husband gets a lot of cramps, muscle cramps, and he drinks pickle juice, so I saved the pickle juice. Here's one that's overripe. I'm gonna give that to the chickens. But like I say, I've already picked one good picking off of these and did a lot of pickles. So let me dig off in here in this vine and see if I can find any more cucumbers. Look, it's growing up my bottle tree. And also, I planted my comfrey, but I see it's sneaking out the end out here. The cucumbers covered it up. All right, so these are some more tomato plants and kind of the back of my green beans, but I've already done most of my green bean picking. I need to get those plants out of there. But I just wanted to show y'all my little experiment that I did planting these onions around these tomato plants has worked out well, and I'm going to utilize some of this real estate next year. Oh look, I got a dead marigold right there, and a weed, of course. But see this onion right here? That's a pretty good size onion. I'm probably gonna go ahead and pull it. See how easy that was to pull? That's a nice size onion. But this was just extra space around my tomato plants, because you always kind of plant your tomato plants towards the back so they can go up your trellis. Well, then you have all this extra space in here in your tubs. Look here, here's another one. We'll pull, and here's another one. I lost some of the onions. I lost some of my onions that I planted around these due to that snowmageddon, but these are the ones that survived. And I actually got some, probably the biggest onions I got out of my garden were these right here. I had some nice size onions, but these were the best. I think I've got one more in here hiding somewhere. I saw it right there. That was kind of about the size of the rest of my onions. All right, so like I say, these are my green beans. They're just about done. They were pole beans. I really didn't think I had any pole beans. I thought I had all bush beans. I'd rather have bush beans. So I won't be doing that again next year. And these are my other green beans. They're just ready to just be pulled up. Fed to the chickens, and then I'll plant something else here. Probably some more purple hull peas. This is my basil and some rosemary, and I had a lamb's ear in here, and it looked wonderful. Then all the rain, lamb's ear doesn't like a lot of rain, so I ended up moving it out of this planter because this planter gets watered, and I don't need that to be watered that much, you know. Even where I moved it, I think it's getting too much water. So looky here, I got a few tomatoes right here that need picking. Marigolds over here doing beautiful. Oh, looks like I've got one over there. These are some more cucumbers. These aren't doing as good as those over there. I don't know if they're not getting enough sun or what, but they just aren't coming along. Not at all. This is where my parsley is, but it's still alive. I'll just need to cut that back. That was a lettuce. I need to just cut that back and give it to the chickens because now it's bitter. That was cilantro that's gone to seed. I have a little parsley here, and I have been cutting on it. It's doing pretty good. My dill, I've already cut some dill for my pickles. I've been using it. That's my ginger. That's my ginger experiment, y'all. It's worked. I've got ginger coming on. I've got some weeds coming on in there too. Looky there. I need to get out here and weed. Looky there. There's another tomato, so I'm going to get that cleaned up. I came out here the other day and trimmed up my tomato vines and stuff like that. This is a bad bed. The squirrels like to get over here and help themselves. See these little ones? But they don't really eat them. They just get them off the dadgum vine and waste my tomatoes. The dadgum squirrels. I don't really eat squirrel, but if I had to in a pinch, I think I would. This is kind of just my wildflower garden. It would have looked a lot better, but my cosmos and stuff had started falling over, and we had to kind of leave them falling over because they were painting the house. So they're kind of wumpy. My husband and I got out here the other day and staked them up. But I have some pretty blooms, and I have some real pretty blooms that'll have some good seeds on them. That's why I left them. My lantana's coming on. I have just lots of things. I just kind of threw out a little mix out here, so some stuff I don't even know what it is. But my bee balm is coming on. Like I say, it looked a lot better, but then we had the house painted, and they were kind of in and out of here getting things painted. They did the best they could. That's hyacinth bean vine coming off in there. Got a butterfly bush off in there. I don't even know what all that is. Oh, and my little trumpet, my little angel trumpet's finally bloomed, but looked like something's eating on the leaves. Here's my asparagus bed. It has some holes because the snowmageddon got some of my plants, but I didn't. This is like the third year, so I could technically have harvested off of it, but I figured after the stress of snowmageddon, I wouldn't do that. I've let the plants kind of recover, so I've just let them do their thing. Look, there's got a weed. I hate weeds. I really do weed my garden about once a week, y'all. But so it's coming on. I'd love to get this all filled in, or if I don't get it filled in, I may dig up some of those plants and move them here and dig and fill them in, and that way that gives me a little bit more real estate in my garden. When you have a small garden, real estate is a very precious commodity.